Need a Titan, no took her to Hermes. Got her items up, what it fucked up, and a spider home. Free the guy down the road, got a hiding phone. Had my name from the street, not a microphone. Ain't no sleep, she on 2, I took Adderall. Niggas act like they us, but they not at all. Caught the baddest shit that we forgot to call. I put down in my teeth like on power wall. Pretty titties, her whole body sauce off. Hold the back of her head till her jaws locked. I don't care what he do, he a cornball. Extra legs, I'm dressing, I'm stuffed game. I'm the real one, 2 million on pinky ring. Come through pimping like Pinky without the cane. Niggas thinking they happy, they Eddie Kane. I been putting on this stuff since my baby frame. Walk around with $1, that's pocket change. Niggas think that you smart till you knock your brain. I done brought the rover like on the flame. Me and Ski trying to see who the coldest shit. If I see it with bro, I don't know the bitch. Extra stuff every time, extra stuff every time, extra stuff every time when I'm stepping out. Put on stuff every time, put on stuff every time, put on stuff every time when I'm stepping out.
8x8, 36 is 0 waste. 3 on 3, my type of date. All this stuff, I might be late. It's all this stuff, 8x8. Stuff is stuff is stuff. Stuff is stuff is stuff. Stuff is stuff is stuff. Wow, breaking the 9. Inside the spot, you know 3 of them mine. They like one oak and they one of a kind. 3 of a kind. Put on my ice and all 3 of them blind. I put grease in my soda, I'm trying to get fried. She rocking that outfit, she trying to get high. Rubbers on rubbers, I never get tired. Bought her that ice and I know she still lying. Brought number 1 on the plane cause she fly. Brought number 2 a new whip, she got dry. Brought number 3 a new Gucci, suck dick. Brought number 4 a new sticker, she 5. Brought number 5, she the 5, number 5, number 5, number 5, number 5, number 5. Yeah, one at a time. Yeah. Bring them all of them. Yeah. Wow. 8x8, 36 is 0 waste. 3 on 3, my type of date. All this stuff, I might be late. It's all this stuff, 8x8. Stuff is stuff is stuff. Stuff is stuff is stuff. Stuff is stuff is stuff. Wow.
Today, we're going to talk about the early college basketball games, NBA and NHL winners, and let's cash back-to-back squad rides. This is Behind the Lines. I really want to fade Tiger today. I hate saying that. It doesn't feel right. I mean, who else has the sack to do it?
How are we not pairing this with Judge? Fading the GOAT, I feel like a Judge pairing is required.
You know, Jovan, I could be convinced, and I think I am.
The Sooners to take care of business by 4+ runs tonight. I think the offense for Oklahoma really picks it up when we have Kyson Witherspoon on the mound. I will take my chances that the offense is going to do enough to get this into a pretty ugly game.
There's not enough glue guys to go around, Jovan. They got no glue guys in that locker room in Philly. 0. They got the opposite. They got the most toxic team of all time. They don't give a hoot. Let's leave them in the Big 2-4. At least for now. I would have taken Peebles if he was up there.
I'm gonna mute.
Dude, there's no way we're talking about sped up videos.
Dude, he was cooking. He was absolutely cooking. What's going on, chat? Happy BTL Wednesday, episode 656 piece. As always, hold the fry, joined by your 2 hosts, Krabs and Jovan, presented by Bookit Sports. If you're not tracking your bets on Bookit, literally, what are you doing? Start tracking your bets today over there on the best bet tracking app out there by far on the App Store or Google Play. Bookit Sports, they do way more than bet tracking as well. If you guys have not checked out that app, super clean UI UX, very easy to use. They've got bet splits. They've got a ton of data on there. Check out Bookit. If you're betting on sports every day and you're not using Bookit, you are a step behind. All right, use promo code Bookit, promo code BTL, get involved. All right, Jovan, happy Wednesday. W Squad Ride last night. Sure.
Yeah, love that.
We can celebrate a little bit. We're not going to do any backflips. No backflips or cartwheels, but we will celebrate. We will clap. And W play last night on the ice. Great work.
Sure. Shot sense.
Yeah. We can go ahead and chalk the Cincinnati Bearcats today as well. They're down 5.
Dude,
nice and early.
You got some real Trent in you this morning, Krabs.
I need winners. Plain and simple. I need winners. I don't care who they're from. I don't care what sport. I don't care what league. I don't care if it's conference championships. I don't give a hoot. I need winners. And let's hope Cincinnati turns out to be one. Right now, they look like well shit. But a lot of ball game to go. Okay. Yeah, sure. I'm honestly just going to close that Iowa State game down because all it's going to do is make me mad. Let's take a peep at the Sharp Report recap from yesterday. Pretty solid day, if I could say so myself. Jovan, 3-2. We take that. W's.
Sure.
Pretty good day for me as well. Shout out to Sienna for blowing that. They were winning and covering the entire game. And then they forgot how to play basketball for the last 5 minutes. They blew it. Should have been a sweep.
That they did. Should have been a sweep.
Yep.
Can't let Jack Payne get swept, too. That was literally oxygen Krabs.
Jack Payne back in Boise. Sure.
Return
Jack
narrative.
Payne back in his home city, I guess. He showed up. I think he cashed this in the first half, was what Goots is telling me.
He did.
W's. And are we not going to address Toby Lawal playing like an NBA player last night? Because he did.
He was goated. He did kind of lose them the game by himself at the end, but he
kind of lost him the game.
Goated.
Yep. Yeah, but he played pretty well before that, though. Kid's a stud.
Jaden Young. I just have never seen a worse basketball player in my life, Krabs. Like, genuinely. Really bad.
Jaden Young is bad, and he thinks he's Steph Curry, which does not help. He had a couple good games this season, and now he still thinks he's him. So he'll learn. Probably the hard way when he gets benched. Shout out the Zags last night coming through, right? Shout out UNCW coming through. Shout out the Blue Hens as well for fighting and making that a ball game. Me and Goots were Goots on ground there last night, Jovan. I don't want to spoil too much or talk about it too much because we are going to make a vlog out of this and comparing it to either the Patriot League tonight or the A10 tournament the rest of this week. TBD on that. I'm still trying to figure out how to get tickets to this fucking Patriot League championship tonight. It's impossible. It's actually impossible. So if anybody in chat has tickets, let me know. I've called the ticket office 4 times. They haven't fucking answered, and there's about 3 tickets total online, and they're extremely overpriced.
They don't want us, Krabs.
It's sold out.
They don't want
you
there, man. I don't know.
You know what? Maybe that's a sign. That's a sign you need to say Navy ain't winning.
Well, we know Navy ain't winning that game because Americans catching steam, and they've lost to Navy twice this season. Pretty weird. But I would love to be at that game. Navy versus American, 2 wagons, right? We'll see. But WCAA championship last night. WUNCW coming through for the parlay 2-piece that I had him in. But also John Camden. I mean, Goots saw it on full display last night. John Camden is a ball player. That kid's a stud. He had a great game. He was showing so much heart, diving over the floor, grabbing rebounds, grabbing basketballs before they go out of bounds, launching them at the other team's legs, making sure they keep the possession. He was doing all the right things.
Yeah, he's certainly more of a NBA talent than Petit and Lawal.
No fucking shot. He's more of an NBA talent than Toby Lawal. I'll give you Petit. But yeah, he's going to have one heck of a time making it to the league.
W last name.
W's. W Camden. Yep. Camden Yards. That's why Goots likes him so much. Can't make it up. Jovan, FSU completely disrespecting Leonard Hamilton like that. Yep.
Dude, crazy disrespect. Insane disrespect.
No effort for coach?
No, none, dude. I mean, I guess the bench players were showing effort. It was just bad. They came off the bench and they thought they were Jaden Young. They were chucking horrible shots. It's terrible.
Gosh, man. What else from yesterday, guys? Any other W recaps or L recaps before we move? Pretty solid day overall.
Trent losing 10K in 90 seconds.
Dude, that was...
I'm going to respectfully refrain from giving my thoughts on that.
Just the amount that we have to be better is just incredible. Incredible. And the crazy part is, I wasn't even watching the whole stream, but I was keeping tabs on it. So I saw the bow keep climbing. I was like, I know this is not going to end well. I know there's something coming. And lo and behold, 10 seconds, dude.
Yeah, that clip is ridiculous. If you guys have not seen that already, I'm sure somebody in chat can drop it, or you can go look at Shelly's post because it's crazy. It's crazy. W day yesterday, though, overall, I'm not going to bitch about anything. I went 4-2, and that includes the terrible minus 200 damn near squad ride that we had early on with Pitt against the Irish with Alf on here. So I take full blame for that one. It was at minus 150 before the show. Got up to minus 200. They still lost outright.
Yeah,
shout out fucking Tay Davis.
Good try.
Yep. Shout out Gooch. Shout out Tay Davis. Gooch, we're not going to talk about how Mike Bray was just at the game last night, too.
My hero at game.
Go.
Behind Delaware bench.
Mike Bray is literally boots on ground at this game for no reason. Well, actually, for a good reason. He used to.
Yeah, what do you mean for no reason?
I mean, he's got a game in Atlanta tonight.
The guy he's on the clock right now. He's coaching for the Hawks, and he's just taking the night off, taking the family down to the Care First Arena in the hood of DC for a nice night out to watch his old squad Delaware. I was like, what the fuck is going on here? Why is Mike Bray here?
Yeah, he's a fan of ball.
And we also saw, God, who else was it, bro? Goots. Yeah, Coach Keats.
Yeah, Coach
the
Keats.
NC State coach that just got canned. Jovan, he was just there lurking around because he used to coach at UNCW. Remember?
Kevin Keats.
He was there before he got his come up.
Yeah,
Kevin
sure.
Keats.
Horrible coach.
Kevin Keats.
Terrible coach.
Geek Goot. Yep.
Yeah, shout out.
Did not see Geek Goot there last night, though. Was hoping to see
Flacco,
him.
too. Wacko Flacco.
Saw way too many Flacco jerseys. Way too many Flacco jerseys.
What else do they have up there, Krabs?
I would want to wear an elite QB jersey as well.
They apparently invented the day drinking party.
Yes.
Delaware Dads.
UD does claim that they started the Darty. Yeah.
They invented the Darty.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's they
wild claim.
I'll tell you. Yep. They got that in Flacco. That's about it. That's about it up there. Okay. W Cincy start. Jovan, great call. Down 9-2. Well, Wyoming's going to make the coins back, and we'll talk about that here in a moment. Why don't we get into some plays for today and talk about some winners for today? Why are we talking about Starboard in chat? That W said Larry Birds. Great place. Great bar. Let's talk about some of our favorite plays for tonight. Okay, yeah, Goots knows about Starboard. Sure. Phil's Utley had class with Flacco. No fucking shot. Phil's is a Blue Hens alum. Sure, Phil's.
I did know that.
Yeah.
Okay. No overlap with Flacco, though. It's kind of sick.
That's so sick. I mean, I've told you guys all the story, but Joe Flacco literally, as a 5-year-old kid, he told me to fuck myself when I was at the rookie minicamp. People forget that. He wouldn't sign my jersey.
He sensed your commander's blood, Krabs.
He wouldn't sign my goddamn Todd Heap jersey. Who does he think he was as a rookie? Unbelievable. All right, let's start out with some CBB talk here. Jovan, I don't know about you, man, but Colorado, I got a weird feeling about this team, and I think they can maybe make a little run here. A team that has not won a single game away from home until, last night?
Yeah.
When they beat your Frogs and had that crazy comeback. I got a weird feeling, dude, about the Buffs. Maybe making a run here and against a dead West Virginia team, with no DeVries out there. Sure, they got a good coach. Sure, they got Javon Small still out there up and moving, I believe. Is that going to be enough against this Colorado team in Hammond? I don't know if it will be. And against a team they've already lost to once this year, I kind of want to back Colorado. Line's not moving my way. It's actually moving the other way, +6.5 to +7 right now for Colorado. I don't give a hoot. Nobody thinks they could win 2 in a row. I think they might. 2 Mooshit squads facing off in this game. More of a fade on West Virginia, who's probably looking towards next season already with the coach's son, done. Maybe he gets another year of eligibility. Who knows? But they're already looking to the Big 2-6 is my point. Colorado, their coach is kind of still coaching for his job a little bit here. They're trying to show any sort of heart they possibly can. And Hammond, I think, is the best player out there on the floor tonight. So I'll back Colorado, or this afternoon, actually. This game starts at 3 p.m. I'll back the Buffs, grabbing the points. I do think this game goes down to the wire either way. Honestly, it should be a pretty good game. Close, at least. Might not have a ton of points, but close.
Yeah.
Okay, give me the +7.
I definitely don't think there's going to be a ton of points, which is why I can respect the Buffs on the spread. I don't think they win, but I think it could be gross enough, especially when, the only 2 options for both teams are probably going to be Hammond versus Javon Small. I think 1-on-1 the entire game. I don't think we're getting another. Jakimovsky was literally the greatest shooter of all time yesterday. He was destroying the Frogs. He got so hot. I don't think it's going to be like that today. So I think it'd be 1-on-1, just a gross game. I could see it being close.
Z-Shrek, Dark Forest, really good role player, good locker room guy, keeps his nose clean, good player, good teammates. Good pickup for the Bills. I like what the Bills got going on over there. Now it's starting to make sense why they let go of Von Miller after the move they brought in yesterday, right?
So they're just so set on some former commies.
Yeah.
And D-Hop look out.
Sure, and D-Hop is moving needle in Baltimore. We'll just leave that one off to the side. No need to go into that.
Yeah,
no need to go into that.
Sure.
Cincy down 3. There we go. All it takes is some bitching sometimes, Jovan, because they're listening when I talk. They are. Sometimes all it takes is some bitching to get the team up and moving, get them riled up a little bit here. Let's swing it around to your straight bets. I'm very curious to hear what you're crafting up today, Jovan, and we'll come back and talk about Wyoming. But for now, I want to hear about that over in the NBA.
Yeah, I saw this over, or I saw the total, and immediately thought, holy shit, this is high, because not only, I know the Jazz after looking at it, are getting a little bit healthier. I guess that was the last couple games. They're still without Keontae George, without Jordan Clarkson. Who knows if Lauri Markkanen's going to be up and moving tonight? That'll be a little closer to a game time decision, but it's still like the relative like shadow of the Jazz, and then I guess it's evened out by the fact that they're getting healthier, but the Grizzlies are certainly not either, because the Grizzlies, I mean, their specialty is how deep their bench is, and now it's been ravaged by injuries. I guess the starting lineup too, no JJJ, but they're missing a cast of big men between him, Clark. We'll see if Edey's up and moving today, but that deep bench is all of a sudden not so deep anymore. So now we're seeing the Jazz, who, like I said, are getting a little bit healthier. So like when I see the total, I guess that makes a little bit of sense in it, but they're coming off a game where they just held the Celtics to 114 points, which is, frankly, out of the games that the Celtics have against some of the worst defenses in the league, that's one of their lowest outputs by a pretty significant margin all throughout this year. So I think that was a pretty good performance, odd to the fact that they also covered in that game. Obviously, had a lot less points than this because it only ended on 222. So you have that along with the Grizzlies team that has a couple of guys that have been very, very inconsistent lately. And they played a game against the Suns, which on paper should be one of the biggest track meets in all of the NBA. And Ja had a decent game. Desmond Bane only had 10 points. He was terrible in that game. So it's the same relative cast of guys, that are playing in that game. So when I saw 247.5, it definitely raised an eyebrow. And I think we're getting a boatload of points in this one.
Getting a boatload of points in the game with a pretty fucking high total, if I could say so myself. Sure. Sign me up. Interesting looking high total. Probably getting some points in that one. Might need my guy Isaiah Collier to show up and show out, but he might be on the bench now, right? Coming off the bench. Is he still getting starts?
No, he should probably be starting because there's no Clarkson, no Keontae, so I would assume he's still in the starting lineup.
Yeah, you're right, and that ain't no problem. I really like his game.
No, he's goated.
Yeah. Okay. Back at some points. I mean, yeah, that total's high with all these, star players and, GOATs injured or at least questionable as well. Looks pretty weird to me seeing that total making its way up.
He's probably going to have to do something today, which would make sense, being that a lot of the guys for the Grizzlies that are out are bigs or anybody with size. Did you see John Collins, what he did against the Celtics, Krabs? You probably didn't.
Did not.
Probably be weird if you did. I was just looking, I was scrolling through like the scores for the day, and it was like the second half had just started. He was like 6 for 25. Like he ended, I'm trying to find the exact one. He ended 12 for 30. He took 30 shots, 2 for 11 from 3. I mean, he had 28 points just because he was shooting a million times, but I have not seen a pork performance like that from a random guy like John Collins in a while. Maybe he spawns and actually tries to make him in the net this time. Would be great.
I mean, yeah, that'd be cool. I haven't heard John Collins' name in a minute. Good to hear that he's still up and moving.
Yeah, I mean, he's been hurt or fake hurt for a good bit now. I know he missed like start of like January, and he's been back for a bit now, but he just misses games here and there because they're tanking.
Okay. Yay, lads, DM me, bro. Please. If you got Patriot League tickets, I need to know. Hit my DMs, yay, lads. I'll check that out after the show. Okay. Damn, no way you're about to give me some free ticks. Yay, lads, DM me, bro. We'll talk. We'll talk after the show. All right, Jovan. Back at some points. Sure, might need John Collins to get up and moving. Might need G.G. Jackson to get up and moving and do something offensively tonight. Yeah. People forget he's starting in this economy right now. Crazy. All right, let's swing it around here, Gootsy. I want to talk about my favorite play today, and it's back in Wyoming. Anybody see what's going on with this line this afternoon? Unfortunately, it is an early start. It starts at 2 p.m. right when the show ends. Was really hoping this was going to be a later game so that we could lock it in for potential squad ride, but I simply cannot resist backing Wyoming on the money line here, flipping from a short dog to a fave against a San Jose State team that they've already lost to twice this season, Jovan. Not once, but twice. This game looks weird to me, and I want to back Sundance Wicks in his first year as a coach at Wyoming. I've liked what he's done. He's done a pretty good job with a lot of shit, in my opinion. And he's got a couple decent players out there. We're going to talk about one of them when we get to the prize picks boards, one GOAT that I'm taking for Wyoming. But besides him, they don't have many great players. Sundance Wicks has done a really good job of coaching his butt off with what he's got. And I know this team did not finish the season very strong in the win column, but they showed some heart on the road against Fresno. They hung around there, only lost by 4. The game before that, they lost to San Diego State, a really good squad, by 3. They kind of showed some heart down the stretch and looked pretty good. They covered. They showed some life. I want to back Sundance Wick Squad in his first year as the Wyoming coach, taking over, flipping from a dog to a fave against a team they've lost to twice already this season. And I'll circle back to the Prize Pick Square and the GOAT, who's going to carry Wyoming to victory in a moment. But for now, I'll leave it at Wyoming ML, my favorite play of the day today.
Sure. I can get down with that. A little early usage. Right.
Sure. Let's see what you got cooking up for play number 2. I believe you're taking us to college basketball. Yes.
Yep. Go Dogs. Oklahoma's ratchet. They are, again, same thing I always say with the Dogs. If a team that plays like them, they're physical, they get on the glass on both sides, but especially on the offensive side of things. If they do it better than Georgia, I'm off. I think that's the perfect counter to Georgia. If you're a smaller team that is very one-dimensional offensively, and then on defense, you're not very physical and you're a little undersized, that's the teams that the Dogs love to feast on. So I think Oklahoma is a perfect team for that. Because, again, offensively, it's Jeremiah Fears and pick and roll. And if that doesn't work, all hell breaks loose. They don't know what to do. Georgia's one of the best pick and roll defenses in all of college basketball, and especially in the SEC. So that should be shut down. I mean, last time they played, Jeremiah Fears, had, I think, the worst game of his season. So I don't know if that's going to happen again. But pretty good counter to what they do offensively. And then defensively, I don't know what they're going to do to stop all of the cutting action from Asa Newell. I think he has a massive game if he can stay out of foul trouble, which is the biggest diff for him. Silas DeMary is going to get downhill. Godfrey had a great game the first time they played too. They just used their size to their advantage. They crashed the glass. It's just everything that you want out of a team against Oklahoma is what Georgia has. So I've been riding the wave. I don't think this game really has any bearing on if they're in the tournament or not, because I think they're safely in at this point. But something special is about this team. So I'm taking them now, and we'll see what we can revisit tomorrow potentially. They get it done.
Okay. All right. I like that line moving. That's for sure. And I do think that's an underrated Bulldog squad who's probably in March Madness already, but another win wouldn't hurt.
Another win wouldn't hurt, right? A loss here would probably put them back on the bubble, even though they'd still probably be on the right side, it seems like. But definitely don't want to be playing around, put it in somebody else's hands. Get job done tonight.
Yep. Go Dogs. Low-key on fire to close the season out. They needed to be. To make the tourney, and they're doing their job. So they get one more win here. They're in a good spot. They're catching 2 points of steam. It's a good-looking play. I like it. All right, Gootsy. I got one more straight bet for the peeps. And I'm heading to the ice. This one's looking at me funny, folks. So I'm going to talk through it a little bit here. Seattle ML. Sitting around minus 150. I know we got to lay some juice. It is what it is. They're playing a Canadiens team, Jovan, that's playing pretty good hockey right now. At least better than Seattle. Seattle's lost 3 of their last 4. Montreal has won 3 of their last 5 games. And they've covered 4 of their last 5 games. They're coming off a nice win. Now, they did play last night. So I know they're going to get some line disrespect. You've engraved that into my brain. And I've certainly noticed it with these teams playing back-to-back, especially on the roads. You're going to get disrespected. They played last night, although they pulled out a big-time win on the road against Vancouver. Pretty good look for them as Dogs. Thought it was weird seeing Seattle catch this much line respect. I know they're home, but it's not like their home record has been, have they been that fucking good at home? They're actually sub 500 on the ML at home this year, 14-15. So this line looks a little weird to me. Some serious line respect for the Kraken, who have dropped their last couple games or 3 of their last 4 games. I want to back them at home on the ML against the Canadiens, coming off that win last night.
Yeah, I can respect it. I don't mind the play at all.
Wow, we got by God in the chat, by God. Sure. Maybe my favorite guy who goes on the surge stream. What's up, Goat? You got a winner for today? Let us know. He's got a little by God emote going as well. That's up there for DJ Fitz. One more emote. Good work.
Yeah, the DJ Fitz one more emote gets me every time, Krabs.
W. Alexander with the bits. We appreciate you, my man. Looks like Waka likes his play. W's. Dead Larry Bird. We will talk about that UC Davis line. Don't you worry. DJ Fitz, what are you doing, man? Drop those one more emotes. Come on now. Where they at? I need them. All right. And yeah, DJ Fitz, if you don't mind, go ahead and drop that whole card for me. You might need it. Okay. Jovan, one more straight bet. Let's talk about it.
Take you to the Wildcats, Krabs. I know we talked about this one a little bit on the pod because
sure,
it's a spot that we may have seen coming just a little bit, and I don't want to back down from it. I think this Baylor team, as dead as you probably could have said Kansas State was the past couple weeks after their, I forget when it was, like late January when they had that little stretch of just upset after upset, and they're the greatest team of all time. They fell pretty hard and pretty fast after that. So they were a little dead coming into the postseason, and I think Baylor is not too far behind them, especially away from home. I'm pretty sure it's been since that late January stretch. I think the game at Utah, which was like the 23rd around there in January, it's the last time Baylor's covered a game on a road. So like they've looked not great until the TCU game that they won and didn't cover, I believe, in Fort Worth. So like they've still been relatively bad away from home, but Baylor's also just super one-dimensional at this point, and some of that's injury based, but VJ Edgecombe, they realize he's good, which is a big plus, but their offense is really just let him drive to the hoop or let him create a shot. And they don't have that. They don't have much of anything. Jeremy Roach has been terrible. Langston Love's still not fully healthy, ailing an injury. Omier is just always in foul trouble, never consistent in the paint. So when you're facing a team that, say what you want about their offense, but defensively, like you're going to have Dave Nagesson in there. It's a great counter to everything Omier, and then their scheme is really going to force somebody else to beat them if you're Kansas State defensively. So I think this is the perfect spot, even if we don't get a Coleman Hawkins LeBron game, which we probably won't because he just had one yesterday where their defense locks in and makes this one really close late, and maybe they pull the upset.
Jovan, dude, I love that play. And I like grabbing the points. And I feel like you saw enough out of Coleman Hawkins last night to back him again on one leg.
Yeah, again, I don't want to bank on him having another legacy game, especially he's literally playing with a fractured tibia, but somebody's going to do it. Somebody's going to be shooting. And thankfully, like, I don't have that much faith in Baylor's offense against Kansas State's defense. Cause again, it's literally VJ or nothing for them at this point, especially when you have Big Dave in there to stop everything Omier, hopefully.
Yeah, Dave Nagesson.
Yeah, it's probably my favorite play of the day, Krabs.
Wow. Okay. Kansas State grabbing the points against a fraudulent Baylor squad who's got a stud in Edgecombe, but that team just feels off. I don't know. I don't like them.
So off.
I'm with you. Okay. And Baylor beat them the other couple weeks ago when they played them last, but love that. All right,
close game too.
Some good-looking plays. Chat's liking your sell jobs. I am as well. I'm liking those plays. Got a nasty over in the NBA. You got a favorite catching some steam in CBB, and you got a nasty dog who we think might have a chance to, show some magic, I guess, in their conference tourney like we talked about on the pods. Speaking of the pod, could be a good time to plug it. Plug here, chat. If you guys have not checked out the CBB Power Conference pods, might be worth giving this puppy a listen this afternoon. Locking in when you're checking out some of these, early round games in these power conferences. Check out the pods. When you're going to the gym later today, you're going to the grocery store later today. When you're stepping out, put your ear pods in and listen on Spotify or Apple Music. Or if you're chilling at home and you want to see our beautiful faces, we've got the link to the YouTube as well. And drop a like on that puppy if you guys don't mind. Check out the pods. All right, check out the pod. I promise you'll learn something. You'll make some coins if you check it out. Pod. Cool Thugger Jackson. Yep. Funniest thing on the pod was when Jovan told Krabs, I think their story is written. Why am I not remembering that?
I remember saying that. I forget who it was about.
I'm sure Chad will tell us. Okay.
It probably was the Hokies.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, their story was indeed written. Oh, it's the UNC. Yeah, their story's written, dude. Probably win today, but
losing today.
No, they win today. Sorry, Goots, but they do win today. It's a fatty spread. All right. Let me know when Cincy scores. If anybody sees it, it's been about 20 minutes since I've seen a Cincinnati Bearcats bucket. Let me know, guys. Yep, down 9. Let me know if you guys see them do anything positive. It's been a while. I need some positivity from the Bearcats. Hey, there we go. Let's put it in the hoop. Wouldn't that be something? All good? Oh,
love that foul.
Okay.
Great foul.
Sure.
Incredible goal.
Sure. All right. Krabs, don't you have Iowa State Big 12 champs? I do. Trying to fuck the middle here. Z-Shrek. Probably a dumb move. But yeah, I'm trying to fuck the middle here. I don't want to spoil too much from that pod, though, Z-Shrek. All right. You guys need to give that puppy a listen. It's a little bit over an hour. Give it a listen. You can always skip through in the description as well. W Goots. We get some timestamps as well. If you want to skip around to the conferences, give it a listen. Check it out. Okay. All right, let's keep moving and grooving here, Jovan. I want to talk about some prize pick squares. You ready?
Yep.
Sure. Let's talk about Obi. Obi-Wan Kenobi. This dude's a fucking beast. Best player by far on Wyoming. You'll see that this afternoon if you guys get your eyeballs on that game. He carries his team. He's him. He's going to go off today for 20 points. He has to. If Wyoming wants to win this game, and they're going to, he's going to have to go off and show up. He's been carrying this team the last couple games as well. I mean, I've watched him with my own eyeballs. He's been a main reason why they've been covering some of these games. Give me OG Ogbin. Absolute stud. First year on this Wyoming team. He's been carrying that offense. I like points in this Wyoming game, and I obviously like the Cowboys flipping from a dog to a fave. The total's moving up as well. I think we see Obi-Wan Kenobi go out there and dominate against the Spartans, a team who does not worry me much, especially defensively. And with that total moving up, I think Wyoming's got a good chance to put some points up on the board. Give me their best player to lead the way. Let's go Obi, more than 17.5 points.
Sure. Down for that,
right?
Krabs.
He's a beast. If you guys haven't seen this kid play already, I know Wyoming really nothing to watch this season, but he's pretty good. He's pretty good. And then Josh Dix. All right, I've been waiting for this moment, folks. Fading Josh Dix after his legacy game the other night. He had a great fucking game against Nebraska. Was part of the reason, why they put Nebraska away in that game. Josh Dix was making crazy tough shots, mid-ranges, threes throughout the entirety of that game, grabbing boards as well. But what do we know about Josh Dix? Josh Dix is a skinny white dude who's probably going to have some trouble out there against this Ohio State team this afternoon / tonight, if I could say so myself or if I could guess. Tonight at 6 p.m., I think Josh Dix has a terrible matchup against a physical, tough Ohio State squad that's going to bully them. They're going to cover this game as well. They're going to win. I don't like points in this game either. I like a nasty, grinded-out win and an under for Ohio State in this game, Jovan. And I think this is the perfect time to fade Josh Dix after his best game of the season. Not a good matchup. Sell high in a game I like the under in and a game I like Ohio State in. I want to fade Josh Dix.
Sure. No riding dicks tonight, Krabs.
Correct. There will be no dick riding tonight. Yep. Okay, only fades.
Only fades.
Jovan, you got a couple squares for the peeps?
I do. I got some squares that have bounced. I guess they both did the same exact thing where they got bumped up a full 1.5, and then they've been bouncing back and forth between the 0.5. So I put the highest that I saw it at between the 30 minutes that we were putting plays into the sheet. So I don't know what it's at now. I think they're both flat when we started, but we'll see where it actually ends up. Jamal Shed, hoping we get a Bismack of the day, which would be great. He gets to face the Sixers tonight, which, as we know, are incredibly ratchet in a couple different areas, especially in the point guard department, which is why I've seen his assist a couple times today, and I'm 100% down with that because he's going to have every chance with everybody that's out for the Raptors today. They have literally no playmakers other than Jamal Shed that's going to be handling the ball today. He's going to have every opportunity against the ratchet Sixers to make plays, but he's also going to be super aggressive because this is his time. He's got a lot of weird squares up there, which obviously they're going to be with all of the guys out. But when you throw in I don't know if you've seen his 3-pointer square, which is pretty interesting, but the points are high, even a little higher than I would have expected with everybody out. The assists are relatively normal given what you should expect from him playmaking wise, but I think he's just going to do everything in this game. And of course, the matchup is a massive plus. I'd probably take it in any matchup against any team, but when you get the Sixers, especially, of course, I'm in to fade those bozos. Yes, Caleb Muse. 76ers are cricket meat. It's unbelievable. You know who else is cricket meat? The Iowa paint defense, because some of it's not really their fault because obviously Owen Freeman is out for the season, so they really have no paint protection there. Enter Devin Royal, who is an absolute monster, and I think I don't know who's going to be able to stop them. They really couldn't stop him with Owen Freeman in there the first time they played earlier this season. It wasn't a crazy game for Devin Royal, but he was solid, pretty unstoppable when he just decided to get to the paint. He was super decisive. But now, nobody's there to stop him. I like points in this game. I don't really know which way I lean sidewise, but I don't think it really matters too much because regardless of what you get from Iowa shooting wise, I know they're away from home, so you can expect a little high tempo environment, but I think everything for Ohio State is going to roll through the paint because that's where they're most vulnerable on the defensive side of the ball. So I don't know if we see a better matchup for Devin Royal or have seen a better matchup for Devin Royal, maybe the entirety of the season. So definitely helps that this is a neutral site game where you still think there's going to be points. And I don't know. I like taking big man in the first game of a tournament because shooters often come out a little cold. We saw that, in the Big 12 yesterday. So we'll see if it happens in the Big 10 in this game. But I think Devin Royal has a chance to dominate.
Okay, back in Devin Royal, more than PRA. We got Fade God coming in, resub and W's. Feed me the meat this March Madness. Okay. Yeah, a couple things from chat here. Hi, Will, 6'9". Hi, Jovan and Krabs, W's. We got Caleb Muse in here. What's up, Caleb? One other thing I saw I wanted to address. Oh, yeah, Nemhard sucks. Yes, old man All-American. He sucks.
Unbelievable. He's out here getting techs on the bench, dude. What the fuck is he doing?
Not locked.
Not
That's
locked, man. It's unbelievable.
Not locked. Speaking of not locked, did you have Shed's PA at one point in this? And then switch to his PRA?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. I already locked it in with the PI. Fuck.
I mean, I don't think it really should matter, but
I'm going to replace it, though, for the chat. I already put the link in the chat for the 4-man. That's not the correct 4-man chat. With Jamal Shed, we're going to pivot to the PRA, and I will put that correct link in the chat here in 1 moment. Let me go ahead and lock this puppy in.
I don't think it matters, Krabs, to be honest with you.
All right.
I was just trying to pick. I don't really have like a preference for the rebounds or anything. I was just trying to pick between. They were both getting bumped to fucking hell for like a 30-minute stretch. So I was just picking whichever one got bumped the least.
Okay. All right.
Which now they're pretty much equal. So it's fine.
Okay. Well, do you want to talk about some of these early CBB games?
They're showing North Carolina walking in right now. They're all just glued to their phones. They're not even close to locked.
What do you mean they're all glued to their, like on the court?
They're just all looking at their phones. They're not even talking to each other like a team.
Yeah, well, when your coach is Hubert Davis, it's probably tough to get out for a game when your team sucks.
Everyone's talking about Minnesota being the team that's going to be the Cinderella in all these conferences. No one's talking about the Irish.
I wonder why.
Because they're fucking horrible, man. Horrible team. That's why. Horrible.
Maybe they'll do the damn thing, Goots. Look, they got a loco out there up and moving, Tay Davis. You know they got Marcus Burton, who's a goat. He's actually him. Who knows, Goots? Who knows? I don't know. All right, let me drop this link to the 4-man in the chat. If you guys want to get involved and tail the Sharp Report 4-man that we crafted up, here's a link. All right, I'll put it in the Twitch chat. Feast your eyes. WPega as well in the chat, dropping the link to the BTL College Basketball Power 5 Conference Tournament previews. Okay, check that pod out as well. W's, we appreciate you guys. And W squares, Jovan. All right, why don't we talk about some of these early college basketball games starting up here soon? Get the people right. It's about that time of year right now where the people don't want to work and they want to lock in college basketball wagers instead of working during the day. And it's our job to help them do that and accomplish that goal, Jovan. So it's right in our wheelhouse. That's for sure. Checking out some of the games that are going on right now. Looks like Richmond is down 3. That game's going to be super sweaty. UVA down 5 early on in the second half. We got South Carolina out to an early lead against Arkansas. It was probably always the Gamecocks. Jovan, I really don't want to let that Wyoming play get swept. Them flipping from +1 to -1.5 against San Jose State tonight, or this afternoon.
Yeah.
Excuse me, in 45 minutes. Good. 45 minutes, chat. Favorite play of the day, Wyoming. Been a while since I backed this squad, but I've had my eyes on them. I've had my eyes on them all season. Starting to play a little bit better. They can hit the reset button a little bit after a bad ending of the regular season. Clear the slate and try to hit the reset button, lock in for this conference tourney. See if they can get a big win against the Spartans. I think they do. Any thoughts on Fordham and Rhode Island, Jovan? The Rams?
Can't say I have too many thoughts, Krabs.
For Rhode Island.
It's a little early, I guess, in the tournament for me to be taking Fordham bets. So, I mean, they should be the play. I know Rhode Island's been terrible to close the season. Finally got a win, but Fordham has just been awful for the entirety of it. So, I mean, that line maybe looks a tad short. I just don't know if I can do it. I just don't know if I can, man.
All right. What about any thoughts on the Irish and UNC? Goots, would love your opinions here as well, although we probably know what they are.
I mean, UNC is just rat meat, man. I think Notre Dame can keep it close. I don't see them winning the game, but 10.5 is a lot of points.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. The spread's pretty telling, but
Spread looks big.
Really big.
Still UNC, right? Still UNC, so maybe they're just getting some of that leftover respect from them being a blue blood.
I'm trying to recall the last time they played them. I know it went down to the wire. I forget what the spread was in that game, but I know
UNC minus 3.5 in South Bend.
Ian Jackson had a crazy good game.
And it was a 1-point game.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Now we're getting a 10-point spread.
Yep.
Probably not a great sign for the Irish, but we'll see.
I mean, a little probably cooked into the spread a little bit is the fact that they've played however many overtimes in the last couple games.
Yeah.
Notre Dame has.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know, a lot of close basketball down the stretch. So, I mean, eventually it's going to fall apart. I just don't know.
A lot of stressful basketball.
A lot of stressful basketball, I guess, is the better way to do it. But yeah, I can tell you it definitely does matter. It's a lot of basketball, but I still think they keep it close.
Okay. I lean UNC. I won't be betting it, number one, because I low-key like Notre Dame. And number two, I did sprinkle on UNC to win the ACC, so I'll just ride that puppy out. No need to double invest in a game against the Irish. You guys know I'm a closet Irish fan. I don't want to fade Burton. I want to root for him today, but I do need UNC to get the dub. Okay. My guess, they win by 10, and they cover the early spreads, but everybody who gets in late does not cover, and the luck of the Irish kicks in. UNC wins by 10. That's my prediction. Okay. Texas Vandy. I would love some thoughts on the Longhorns versus Vandy. I think I heard LC talking about Texas on TMA. Do we think Texas has a chance here against Vanderbilt?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to think so. I think that line looks pretty short. We were talking about that on the pod too. I was expecting Vandy to be a little bigger favorites after Texas just had, I don't know, the platter of their season. I mean, really for the last couple weeks, if they win this game, they're pretty comfortably in. If they win this game, they're pretty comfortably in. They keep losing. And they finally had what was probably the most winnable one of them all against Oklahoma at home. And Trey Johnson shoots over 14 from the field. Just horrid performance. And I really want to take his points today, and I probably will. Need to get that in something just for the principle of it. But I do think Texas has a shot in this game. It's just I don't really care to fade Vandy all that much. But I would say this looks like one of the easiest plays on the board today, taking Vandy.
I don't disagree. I do like this Vandy team. I'm low-key kind of a closet fan of Vandy as well. And I respect what the JMU coach has got going on down there right now. Obviously, they got my guy Tyler Nickel down there balling. But I do lean Texas with you here.
He's probably going to be important in this game, Krabs.
Yeah, he will be.
Does he have a 3 square up? Might need that. Let me get eyes quickly.
He's got a 1.5 goblin threes.
Wow, it's a goblin, dude.
I mean, he's been splooging.
Yeah, I've just haven't seen that. He was like a demon for that pretty consistently, like a week ago.
Yeah,
he's been splooging though. I might
he's
take
been on
his
fire.
points.
The former 5-star went to UNC. They went to VT. Now he's at Vandy. Who knows where he'll go next year?
Yeah,
probably won't be on Vanderbilt.
It could be. I mean, where's he going to go, Krabs? Going to the NBA with Toby?
If you leave a school 3 times, you're probably going somewhere for a 4th and taking the most money possible, and you probably have zero loyalty in your bones.
I mean, I know college basketball is crazy right now, but how much money do you think Tyler Nickel's getting?
I actually know.
There's no way.
$400K.
No. I'm saying, like, if you're a team, like, you think teams are going to get into bidding wars from him?
I don't know about that, but I know that Vanderbilt paid him $400K along with MJ Collins to come from Blacksburg to Vanderbilt last year.
I know they're getting money from Vandy. I was saying, like, you think like Kansas or a big team is going to go and like offer him a bag, and he's going to be like, yeah, I got to take that. I feel like Vandy fits. He's getting paid there.
You're right. He's not a top 30 player in the country. You're right. 100%. He was at one point ranked like that, though, in high school.
Yeah,
he was supposed to be that guy. I just don't think he ever panned out to be that guy. I like watching him, though. He's a tall guard. I know he plays like the 3 or the 4, but he really is a tall 2. The dude can shoot the heck out of the basketball. He's been on fire of late. That could be a decent goblin if you're looking to craft up a goblin lineup or a 6-piece, looking to juice it up a little bit more in CBB today. He's probably hitting 2 threes. And Trey Johnson's probably getting his points as well. Let's not forget about him. The volume's going to be there for Trey.
Oh, always
right?
is.
Yeah,
always
are you going to take him today?
Yeah, have to. Off of that performance, just got to take it and live with it, to be honest with you. That is, I can't get over this game that Vandy's only -2.5. And it's in Nashville, too. So it's essentially a home game.
Yeah. Now, it is Texas. Big and bad Texas, right? And they get a little bit of line respect when they shouldn't.
They do. A lot of it's at home, though. It's like I feel like on the road, they pretty consistently get lines they should. It's just at home, they're always sharp. Now that's neutral site and really a road game, definitely raises an eyebrow. I think especially it's the game, again, they've been doing this for a couple weeks now where it's been a must-win game and they could really be in the tournament with a win and they haven't done it. Now the Oklahoma one felt like the dagger. And now it's another must-win game after that disastrous performance at home too.
I'm with you. I'm with chat. I think Vanderbilt looks a little too easy. That team just wins and covers that more often than not. And Texas is the opposite. So you've been warned. You've been warned, chat. But I do think Texas is probably the right side. If I had to bet it, I would take the Longhorns. Gonna sit that one out, though.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on Northwestern, Minnesota?
Let's get the Trent report. That's all we need for that game, dude.
Minnesota.
Trent bets on Northwestern. Minnesota's a max.
Minnesota, pretty popular play on the feed today.
Yeah, I guess I can understand why. It's just couldn't pay me to bet on that game.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Northwestern, these guys only played once this season. Northwestern beat them. They've beaten them 4 of the last times they've played Minnesota. Minnesota ended the season on a pretty bad stretch. They lost and did not cover 4 of their last 5 games. One of those games was the loss and non-cover to Northwestern when they were actually favorites in that game. This time around, Northwestern's starting to get some line respect. Books are learning a little bit. Yeah, I don't know how you don't get Martinelli and Dawson Garcia involved on prize picks in this game. That's probably how I would target it, playing those 2 goats on prize picks.
Yeah. Could be down for that.
I don't love points in that game, but Martinelli's going to be out there for all 40.
Yeah,
you know that
always is.
Dawson Garcia is probably going to be out there for the majority of the game as well. Any thoughts on Butler or Providence, Jovan? Almost got to the counter with Providence.
Yeah, I would say line and situation probably says Providence. That's just another one where I just don't really care to get involved, though, because Providence team is dead. At least at the least you can say with Butler, like when they've gotten, I don't know, blown out, not blown out, but they've played some of the top teams in the conference, even in the games they haven't covered. Like there's a clear distinction in them and Providence. You can see that they're playing hard. They're playing with a lot of effort. They're gritting out a lot of these games on the defensive side of the ball. Like Providence, when they're out of a game, they're just out of a game, man. I don't feel like putting coin on Providence in this day and age.
Yeah, and it's probably the right move. It's tough to see if, and know if these teams still give a hoot at this point. A lot of these guys on Providence are probably looking to see where they're playing next year. They've probably already given up. I don't know if you saw that Dan Hurley interview a couple days ago on 60 Minutes, I think, but he was talking about how half his team already knows where they're going to be playing next year.
Yeah. Crazy
interview. I don't know. That's getting a little bit swept as well, probably because we got so many games on that we got to talk about, but that was a crazy comment from Coach. That is the defending 2-time national champions. And if those players are looking to go somewhere else, that means every player on every team is probably looking to go somewhere else. That's insane to me. That's insane to me.
Shit, if I had him as my coach after all the shit he talks and we're sitting there as an 8 seed going to the tournament, I'd be pissed too.
People too
I'd be
soft to
signing
get coached
contracts.
by him.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't even know if it's too soft. It's just like if you talk that much, if your mouth is open talking that shit to the reporters, to other coaches, to the refs for the entirety of the season, like you better be a top team in the country. Like
He's
you,
won
it's cool.
back-to-back natties.
I know. I'm saying it's fine if you do it in those years, but if you're on the team and you're sitting there, I don't know who they've lost to some pretty decently bad teams in the Big East. If you're doing that shit, it doesn't hit the same. Like it doesn't resonate with you the same. So then it just sounds like fucking coach speaking words.
Yeah. I don't know. I like the guy.
I don't hate the guy. It's just
I
like
like the guy.
I feel like when you're a back-to-back national champion, it's cool, but when you're an 8 seed losing to DePaul in the clutch, it gets like corny.
Seton Hall.
Seton Hall, yeah. I was trying to think of who that
Yeah,
shit
I think
team
that
was
was
they
who it
lost
was.
to.
Yeah, he's been yapping, but he gets to yap a little bit. Maybe not this much. With other teams like this year, they've taken a little step back. He probably didn't expect that, though. Very curious to see how it pans out for UConn, not only in the Big Dance, but in the Big East tourney. And if you guys want to hear our thoughts on that, go check out the pods that we just put up on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music the other day. We'll drop the link one more time in the chat. Okay? All right, Jovan. Let's look at a couple more games here. Chat is splooging Lamar in the chat. Maybe that's just Goots. Splooging Lamar, but I'm seeing a couple Lamars in the chat. They play your McNeese wagon, and they're getting a boatload of points for a championship.
Shocked that this line is as fat as it was. I thought there was not a shot in the world we'd be seeing double digits, which is why I was like, the line would be low enough, and I'll just take McNeese. I mean, this Lamar team, not only like they're 2-0 ATS against McNeese this year, but they also just played them to close the regular season. Obviously, that game was at Lamar, but they took them down to the final basket. They're beating them for a majority of the game, and by a pretty decent margin before McNeese made a pretty big comeback. So, like, now this line is it opened like 10.5, which I was already shocked up, and then it got up to 13.5. Now it's like back down to like 12.5. Stunned that this line is as fat as it is. Obviously, like it's the tournament's in Lake Charles, so it's a home game for McNeese. But this Lamar team's playing like really good basketball to close the season. And one of those games obviously was against McNeese that they should have won. A fat fucking line, dude.
Yeah, I agree. I probably won't bet this. I think their fat spread is canceled out by their coach and just how dominant of a wagon they've been in this conference the last couple of years. People are pretty hip to that now. So
yeah, that
cancels out the fat spread for me. I'll sit it out, but I certainly noticed it, and I would not be going anywhere near Lamar with that spread moving up to 12.5 as well.
Yeah. Northwestern State.
Good about your McNeese boys, right?
Yeah. I mean, they'll be dancing after tonight. But
okay.
I thought the Northwestern State spread was pretty short yesterday for as bad as they are. And that was only like 2 points higher, which McNeese ended up covering, had no business doing it, which was crazy.
Yep.
But yeah, this one being relatively around there is stunning.
I agree. Is it bad I haven't heard anybody say Cincinnati in the last 20 minutes? Should I be concerned?
Halftime.
Okay. Halftime down 9. A lot of ball left, Jovan. A lot of ball left. Looks like Richmond is down 3 with 40 seconds left. Wow, they're about to hang around and be tied the entire game and then not cover. That would be moose shit for the Spiders bettors out there.
Krabs.
Huh?
Show them some respect here. They're fighting.
I don't know if the Spiders deserve respect this year, man.
They're putting on their finest Delaware performance. 5
points now. What do we got in chat? Did you guys talk about American? They talked about it on TMA. No, but we should. We should. I was really hoping to find something to pair American on the ML with, but I also really don't want to fade Navy. You guys know how I feel about that school and that program and their sports teams. I really don't fade them. I really don't. But let me give you the breakdown here. Navy, American. This is low-key a sneaky, really good Patriot League championship. Kind of happy we don't get Colgate like we do every single year. Down year for Colgate. We got 2 relatively new squads. Navy's been in the championship. at least once in the last couple seasons. They have a pretty good coach who's been around for a while. They thrive off of defense. They thrive off of turnovers. And they're a pretty good overall, well-rounded squad. American actually lost both games to Navy this season, Jovan. So I thought it was kind of weird seeing American catch a little bit of steam. Now they are home. This is being played on their home arena. Okay, their home floor. Now they did lose to Navy on their home floor a couple weeks ago by 8 points. It's not a good matchup for American. It's not. And Navy's actually beaten them the last 3 times they played them to this season. The line tells me it's American. My heart won't let me fade Navy, but I really do think American is a really good-looking play on the ML if we're willing to lay some juice, or you pair it with a fat favorite and get it back close to plus 100 on the ML because they're sitting at like minus 180 right now. They're not losing this game. Maybe they don't cover, but Americans winning that game.
Yeah, I'm in. And I'm definitely taking Matt Rogers in a lineup. Has to be done. Right. Navy has just no size. So, I mean, I think their counter, maybe, depending on how well American's shooting, it's a slippery slope because if you double Matt Rogers or, I don't know, blitz him, then you pass off to 3-point shooters and there's Steph Curry. I mean, he's a willing passer to some degree, but if they don't, which I could very well see being the strategy because that's how well American shoots, I mean, he's going to dominate the post.
Yeah, I mean, they got Donovan Draper, the former football player, former wide receiver, who's like one of their big men for Navy. He had a pretty good game the other night, actually. Hit a couple threes, but typically not a main factor on offense. Decent on defense, but again, he's a football player. He's just a big body out there. A skilled big should have their way down low, you'd think, on paper against this Navy squad, but Navy beat them both times this season. I don't know. I certainly like that Elijah Stevens angle for American. Matt Rogers, probably a decent look as well, like you were talking about, for 16 points. Wonder if that got bumped around at all. Sitting at that even 16 line, right?
I'm definitely taking PRA for him.
Okay.
Just because if they do end up doubling him, I think he'll be passing out of it, at least to begin. I don't think they'll be doing that all game because they can't really afford to against American shooters, but that'll probably be a part of the game at some point.
Okay. The gummy one likes Kansas and American, little parlay. Personally, if I'm doing a parlay, I like to try to get it to plus 100 chat, and it doesn't always happen, right? You can't always force it, but it's still a parlay. You still need 2 things to happen. It's still way less likely to happen than you said in a straight bet. So if you're going to take a 2-piece, even if it's a bozo pack, you're in a better spot if you can get it back to plus a hundo. If I had to pair American with something today, there's been a couple decent options that I've heard so far. And Kansas is probably a decent one. UNC is probably a decent one as well. Although I really don't want to lock that one in and have coins against the Irish. I already have a UNC rooting interest to win the ACC. Jovan, you talked about West Virginia earlier. I don't love that angle, but do I think Colorado wins outright? I don't know about that. Are there any other, -7 to -10 favorites on the college basketball boards that are looking at you funny? You think maybe get the job done? Maybe it's just McNeese.
Nah, I mean, that's a
they're
little
up to
juicier.
12.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if it's always for the country, for the U.S., the American Liberty ML parlay?
Against UTEP?
Yeah, UTEP ain't winning. Horrendous club.
No, they're probably not.
Terrible.
And Liberty is a very good coach team, a team that has a ton of experience, and they play very well in these tournaments. Yeah, UTEP got their big win in that last game. They're probably not getting 2 in a row. Sure. Liberty, a pretty darn good look. I agree. All right. I'm scrolling through some of these late night games. Maybe Villanova. They're probably on the borderline against Seton Hall. I probably don't want to fade Seton Hall in this losing streak, but I don't think Villanova loses that game.
Yeah, just Villanova and a bozo pack. So good. So ridiculously good.
And Richmond had a chance to tie, and they forced a 3. Now they're losing. Okay. Let me know. Keep me updated.
Cover's free.
Yeah. Keep me updated.
Go to OT.
All right. Let's see what else we got. Any thoughts on Eddie Lampkin against SMU tonight? How about Eddie Lampkin? I'll say it. How about Big Eddie?
Yeah, go ahead and lock in his unders today.
How about Big Eddie having a fucking day against your Seminoles last night? I know that sucked.
No, he's
I
growing.
shouldn't even bring that up. That's on me.
He was
you want to fade him today?
Absolutely.
Take his less tens?
Absolutely. He's going to be a box.
Thought you hated SMU.
I mean, the one thing they do well is like, I forget how exactly to say the guy's last name, but Yigitalu, or however the fuck you say his name, him and Cross. I mean, they have a lot of size. They make everything tough in the interior. So like, that's the one thing they have going for them. Yeah. Other than that, I mean, it's inconsistent. Boopy Miller, Chuck Harris, BJ Edwards. That's what I don't love about SMU.
Yeah. Okay. Montana NoCo late night. Great game. You know, Mikey Over is going to be all over this puppy. Probably already is. With this guy, Money Williams, on Montana. Montana actually beat NoCo when they played last in February, but before that, they also played in January. NoCo won, so they split the season series. NoCo is playing great right now. They're the 1 seed in this conference. Montana, the 2 seed. They're also playing pretty well right now, too. Spread's down to 2.5 from the 3.5 opener. Do you have any thoughts or leans on this late night CBB game championship?
Yeah, I don't know if I want to have coins on the other side of NoCo. I'll be honest with you, especially in a revenge spot after they got beat at home. Obviously, they won the first game in pretty convincing fashion, but second game didn't go nearly as well. A team that's just an absolute factory for high major talent for whatever reason just might do it again.
No way Davidson won by 4.
By 4.
Oh. They were minus 3.5.
Since when?
Were they not?
No. I saw they're minus 5.5, 6.
Oh, you're right. Plus 5.5.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Shout out the Spiders. All these early starts are confusing my brain. We got Cincy second half starting up here soon. You got South Carolina down 5. First half, better close there. Jovan, I got one more CBB game for you. Then I'm going to open the floor for NHL or NBA if you got any plays. But I got one more CBB game I want to talk about here. Yep. Cal Poly against UC Davis. Game of the night. You got Cal Poly, the 7th seed. Playing pretty good ball right now to end the season, actually. They've won 4 of their last 5 games. They're playing a UC Davis squad, neutral site. I think they play in Vegas. This is the first round of the Big West tournament. UC Davis can't sniff a win. They can't buy a win. They're playing like dog shit. They've lost 5 games in a row, but they own Cal Poly, Jovan. They've beaten Cal Poly the last 5 times they've played them. So they have that edge on them. But Cal Poly opened up minus 2.5 in this game, as they probably should. I know they're the 7th seed compared to the 6th seed, but the way they've ended the season, they've won 4 of their last 5 compared to UCD, who's on a 5-game losing streak. Makes sense why they opened up favorites, but we're seeing that line trickle down to UCD. Wouldn't be shocked if this game closes around a pick'em. Kind of want to back UCD, team that owns Cal Poly, but I want your thoughts, Jovan.
Yeah, maybe looks a little too easy for me. I can respect it though. I mean, I've played them. That was one of the few times that I think a team has beat Cal Poly while not doing it because of their offense all season. Because Cal Poly is, I mean, probably easily the worst defense I think I've watched or actually put eyes on all season. It's horrid. But in the games that like UCD won against them this year, they scored 65 and 77 points to do it. So, I mean, especially that last game that was at Cal Poly, just a weird defensive slugfest. So, I mean, I'd probably lean their way still. UCD, I just don't know if I want to do it for the 3-0 sweep, man. At a plus price, too.
OG Sauer saying Krabs going to get your thoughts on RJ Davis fantasy score. I'd honestly rather just take his points, man. Especially if he has Marcus Burton covering him. Bless his heart. Not the best defender. A little bit more focused on offense.
I don't know. I think they're going to make him pass today. I was thinking about taking his RA. It's what they've been doing when they have like, I don't know, dominant scorers, which they did this to Jeremiah Wilkinson a little bit in that Cal game that lasted years. They put like usually it's Tay Davis on the side. They shade him like super far out of the paint. So like anytime they try and drive with dribble penetration, they just like half double him, like hedge a little bit, like you're coming off a screen. So I'm worried they might do that to him today.
I mean, yeah, he had one of his worst games of the season against the Irish earlier this season. It was in South Bend.
Yeah, it was
They
in the
held him to only
overtime
9
game.
shots.
Oh, are you talking about RJ Davis? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, RJ Davis was clamped up.
Yeah.
In that first matchup.
I think I also saw he has a weird rebound square up, I believe. Could be tripping. No, that's there.
He's got a
First square
3.5
rebound
rebound
category.
square. 3.5 rebounds. Pretty
Yeah.
rad. Okay. Yeah, maybe he does get those rebounds. And I'm looking at his assist. He has a 2.5 goblin assist square. You can't take a normal assist square for him.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. All right. WCBB talk chat. I want to make sure we have all of our bases covered. I want to make sure Jovan gives all of his winners he likes on the ice or in the NBA.
Before we tap out of CBB, I'm shocked you didn't bring up UT Arlington potentials. Playing the good old Grand Canyon guys.
Yeah.
First game of their tournament.
Grand Canyon's coming off a loss.
Yeah, they are.
But again, I mean, I think what I said before the season still holds true. You fade Grand Canyon every game, you're making coins. They're 10-19 against the spreads.
Yeah. Especially in the first game of the tournament.
Yep. I would lean UTA, but I'm not going to bet. I'm not going to bet it with Grand Canyon coming off that last loss. If they entered this tournament on Fuego, I would certainly think differently. But I'll probably sit that one out. Just root against them.
Fair.
What about Rutgers? Any thoughts on Rutgers?
Yeah. I guess I have more thoughts on the board instead of the game because I don't know. I guess like Rutgers somewhat seem sharp because they're like a short dog or whatever. I still probably lean their way, but the one thing that I can't get behind, which was very close to making a appearance on the Sharp Report, I think Dylan Harper destroys USC, and I think he did it the first time they played. Their offense just as a whole, like absolutely mucked them last time out. I think they scored 90 plus points. I don't think they'll be too far from that in this game. It's just he kind of is perfect for everything you need. You need a guy who can get to the rim and be like super, super aggressive against USC. That's exactly what he does. So like Ace Bailey is a much tougher matchup. Everyone else on the court for Rutgers is horrible at what they now get paid to do. Dylan Harper is going to take a million shots. Plus, like going back to the early like non-conference season, when he is on a neutral court, he is just the greatest player of all time. So what better showcase, I guess, for him.
Yeah, Bearcats might be kicked. They might be cake, Stan. That's all right, Stan. We got Wyoming back pocket. Starting up at about 20. I'm not stressing. Okay? We got a backup play up and moving. Chalk it. Go ahead and close that game down, Jovan. No need.
Brother.
No need to waste any eyeballs on it. Yep.
Brother.
Pega, I'm going to be pretty upset if Trent doesn't run the stream today. Not going to lie. Trent, that would show some serious heart and grit. If after losing all those coins last night on the stream, you showed up and did your job today, that would show some serious heart.
It's just every other day, man. Every other day, there's some excuse.
Jay Thorpe, I agree, man. Would be a great time to get hot.
Great time to get hot.
Yeah.
And it was also going to get hot. Merrimack minus 3.5. Bang.
It's Merrimack?
Merrimack.
Dude, I'm literally depressed because I saw the mount line for tomorrow, and it just ruined my whole fucking day. It ruined my
being
entire
depressed in more than 24 hours advance just because of the line for the Mount game is absurd.
Yeah, I know. Let's try to keep it to today. Let's stay locked in. We owe it to the peeps. Yeah, I mean, you want to take Miss Merrimack against Sacred Heart, who's been one of the hotter teams in the MAC to close out the regular season. You know, I got my eyes peeled on this shit conference.
Of course.
Yeah, Sacred Heart has finished the season pretty well, actually. They've been covering. They've been winning. They've been beating the teams they should be beaten. And they've honestly had a couple bad losses mixed in there too. But since compared to the beginning of the season, night and day for Sacred Hearts, playing like a much better squad. So I'm not super shocked to see the spread as close as it is. And let's not forget, when these guys played in late February, Sacred Heart actually beat Merrimack, Jovan. And in January when they played, Merrimack did beat them at Sacred Heart. So they did split the season series. The road team won both games. Super weird.
Yeah,
and both games were 1 point. Yep, 1 point wins. Isn't that the weirdest shit ever?
Crazy. That's the most
and now
Mac shit of all time.
That is some Mac shit right there, 100%. And now you're seeing a Merrimack spread at 3.5. I mean, if it moves anymore, I'd certainly be more inclined to bet them. And they are the significantly better squad on paper. Their team is better. They're bigger. I know they're not home. This one's a neutral up in Atlantic City, but Sacred Heart, I would not mind fading them with how well they played and coming off that win the last time they faced off against Merrimack. I just would like to see that -3.5 solidify. I don't want to see any more 2.5s popping up, Jovan. So I'll probably wait that one out and see where that line settles.
Right.
Okay. Are you taking them no matter what, Miss Merrimack?
Yeah.
You're seeing something here you like. Okay.
Yeah, Merrimack. I just, you know, my head's out with that team. I think I'm gonna go. I haven't punched it in yet, but I'll go half U on the -3.5 and try and catch the other half U on a live regular ML, just for close game MAAC Mac insurance.
Parker's picks as his favorite play to pitch on the surge. Sure. All right, let's keep powering through here, chat. Do me a favor, guys. If you bet on Cincinnati today, go ahead and rip the ticket up. Then we're going to go ahead and move on to Wyoming.
You are just as bad as Trent today. It's incredible.
I know. I'm being bad.
Unbelievable.
All right. Any other CBB before we move?
No.
NBA, NHL?
NHL, I mean, you talked about your play you like. You get a quick check on goals allowed squares.
I still think that Jazz, not the Jazz, Jesus. I still think the Utah Hockey Club line is fucking ridiculous. It's pretty much unbettable. But seeing Utah up to -300, Jovan, I mean, come on.
It's a lot.
They're getting a win tonight, right?
They should. It's just like, what are you going to take?
They should.
Take -1.5.
This could be what you pair on the ML with American.
Yeah.
Talk about diversifying your portfolio. The reason why this was looking so weird to me, Jovan, it's not just, Utah versus the Ducks, but the Ducks have beaten them the last 3 times they played them. The Ducks, I know they played last night, so obviously there's going to be some line respect for Utah here and against Anaheim after they played last night. You're right. But -300, dude, I don't know. Ducks are playing okay. They're not playing any better or worse than Utah right now. I just didn't think Utah deserved a -300 considering they're sub 500 at home this season.
Yeah.
It stuck out to me.
The only reason I'm just not as in on it is because Utah is sharp and gets respected at home every single time. Now, not to say I think you're wrong, but it's just the same story every time. But I lean with you for sure in that game.
It does suck that they're sharp all the time at home and they rarely come through. That scares me.
Yeah,
it makes me feel like I'm betting on the Phoenix Suns.
They were sharp as attack against the Leafs, and
I bet
that game wasn't close, but it really shouldn't have been. After the Leafs spawned up 3-0, shouldn't have gone to a shootout, but of course, Utah did not come through for the sharp bettors. But it's been the same story all season with them, but I do think it's Utah tonight.
Okay. All right, we got Richie taking the puck line in the chat. Sure. W's.
There is a game today that is, I would say, I don't think it's even close to a debate. There's a lot of games that are on the board today that are under games. Out of the 4, I guess Flames Canucks is one. You could argue with the 5.5 total. The Kraken game is one. Nobody's really going to like an under in Anaheim, Utah, but it's not really going to be because they trust the Ducks all that much. The most obvious over game on the board, the over you'll probably hear a couple times, is the Red Wings and Sabres. Not that I disagree, but I probably think one team's going to do it. I don't know if it's going to be the Sabres. Looking at that goals allowed square, Krabs.
Yeah, I'm looking at Peter right now as we speak. Peter Mrazek? Sure. Peter Mrazek? Sure. Yeah, we got to take that less than 2.5 goals allowed after he gave up a combined 10 goals in his last 2 starts. He's given up 17 goals in his last 4 starts. 17. That doesn't happen.
Yeah. 20-5. You can bring it to that too.
It's crazy. Jovan, obviously the total in this game, I saw it briefly open up at 5.5. Now the over was super, super juicy. It was probably more like a 6 opener. Now I'm seeing some 6.5s with the under a little juicy, but still don't love seeing the total that high in this game. It's on TV.
Yeah, it's on TV, and you know what it is, Krabs. This is also Mrazek. Mrazek was a Blackhawk. This is his first game starting for the Red Wings. So
No way.
big moment here for him. Feels like what Blackwood did this, and like I think he had a great start. It's obviously a different scenario because the Red Wings are not the Avs, but like Blackwood, first couple starts, I think got people really excited about him in Colorado, and not that he's like slowed down too much since, but maybe Mrazek gives him a little same juice against that horrendous team up in Buffalo.
Yeah, I really like that less than 2.5 goals allowed square for Big Pete. And you're talking about how you like goals, but maybe it's just Detroit goals.
I don't have the nuts to fade the over in that game, even though it's easily, I think, going to be the most popular play on the NHL board today, side and total wise. But I think if you get there, I don't know if the Sabres are contributing all that much.
And let me ask you this as well. Both teams have been stinking it up. Both teams suck. But the Sabres are coming off a win. The Red Wings haven't sniffed a win in a week and a half. And they're minus 150? I know they're home. But come on now. Isn't that some respect for the Red Wings as well?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could argue a little bit. They did beat him a couple times recently against the Sabres.
They have beaten them the last 2 times they played them. You're right. Good call.
Yeah, and the one thing I do hate doing, I guess, from a ML perspective is I know that they just beat the Oilers, the Sabres did, but they just went through a gauntlet of Oilers, Panthers, Bolts. So, like, usually those are teams that I like somewhat back when they come out of that and they play a much worse team, especially when they're much worse defensively.
Yeah,
like that's the one part I don't love about it, but I'm with you. I think the Red Wings win the game.
Yeah, I like the Red Wings. I like that Peter less than goals allowed square. I kind of like Detroit team total under probably. A couple different ways to play that game.
Buffalo.
All right. Buffalo. Thank you. Yes. Yeah. The Sabres team total under. Dubs. Yeah. Anything in Vancouver, Calgary, or no?
Dustin Wolf's in net. So, you know where my head's out there.
Okay.
Shout out potentials. I wish the Canucks didn't just play last night and lose the fucking Habs. Shout out Chelly for that POD. Plus 1.5, minus 200. Kidding. But he was actually dialed on that. They looked horrible last night. I wish they were coming off a worse game. But maybe it's just a square under.
Okay. When is the MLB Goat Whale stream? Do you guys want to do a BTL Goat Whale stream, or do you guys want to focus on college basketball and BTL and do a MLB Square Spaces at some point in the afternoon or night in the next couple days? Let me know what you guys want. I know we got a lot of day baseball coming up. Sorry,
It was not a Chelly stray. He was on the Habs. I was giving him credit for that. It's a great play.
Sure. A lot of day game college basketball coming up during BTL time. I know you guys are going to want some, college basketball talk. But it seems like you guys want MLB Goat Whale Craft Sesh on BTL.
Definitely need that.
All right. Spaces is nice also. A couple people saying Spaces.
We'll get a combo.
Most people saying BTL.
We'll get BTL, and maybe we'll get a Spaces up and moving to hear some from other people.
Okay.
See some inspiration.
See, Shrek, you know that puppy's going in there. Has to be done. Do we need to get it in before Tokyo? No, we don't. Not unless you want to get your if you want to get a Dodger or a...
Yeah, you do Krabs, potentially.
Yeah.
So you got a Cub in contention, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty... a wrench was thrown into the plans when Garrett Cole got Tommy John. I'll say it because I was pretty fucking close, and I kind of had that in as the last square. Garrett Cole, less than half a complete game. I couldn't shut my eyes at night after looking at the MLB board, seeing a Garrett Cole complete game square, and knowing the kind of pitcher he is that was up there on the boards. And I had that in there as another pitcher, and now I'm kind of going back to the drawing board. I'm debating on what I want to go with. Got a couple goats, but I have 4 of the 5 squares solidified.
Yeah, I think I have 2 squares solidified. One of them's that one, and then the other one's another hitter.
Okay. All right. Yeah, Brady, I'm hyped for baseball this season. We did a really good job last summer with baseball. At least I did. I was pretty excited about it. 2 summers ago, not my best work. on the diamond last year. Had a pretty good year, not only on Prize Picks, but on the books as well for MLB. Let's run that back this year. I know the dog days of summer, it gets tough, right? A lot of people, who are doing shit like this, they're not the biggest baseball people, so they find, some struggles around the summertime, but we live for that shit. You guys know it. So we're excited to absolutely dominate talking baseball, giving out bets left and right, sweating out bets left and right. We got an MLB The Show coming out this weekend as well. I know a lot of you guys are baseball guys too. Excited for the summer. Very excited for the summer. Okay? And we got to get Jovan to Cincy, and we got to get the squad to Camden Yards. Those are two things that I know.
Yeah.
And then we got to work on.
And we might have to make our way back to fucking Milwaukee, Krabs.
That you're going to have to sell me on because it was awesome. It was actually.
I was going to say, I feel like that was probably the best one we went to. I was
very impressed up there with everything we did. The restaurants, the hotels, people, the game, right?
Everything. I almost think because of the situation that we were in, we kind of shortchanged ourselves on time there unintentionally, which didn't help either. But I mean, I'd go back just for Spotted Cow. Got to be done. But
Spotted Cow, maybe the best beer I've ever had. Straight up.
Yeah, it's goated. I go back there I have like friends from there that literally smuggle it to and from Texas, which is crazy. But
that is crazy.
I might have to be up there because there might be a brewer in the Go Whale too, Krabs.
Wow. A brewer fade though, right?
No.
Really? Oh, I'm thinking of a guy who used to be a brewer who said he wanted to fade on a new
Willie.
Team.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know if I'm Willie. I was kind of planning on having his name be in conversations. I figured his number would be so much higher, but his numbers are low as shit. Maybe it's like super cooked in that he's in San Fran now, but 23 and a half home runs, I did not expect him to be that low.
Yeah, big bad nose. Okay. Big bad, we'll keep you updated, my man. We had a great time out there in Milwaukee. That was a great trip. Yeah, Chicago, Milwaukee trip. I agree. There are no Brewers fans. Fake God, there's a couple people above you.
Dude, I know so many Brewers fans, which is weird.
Sure. All right. Why don't we lock in here? We only got about 5 minutes left, Jovan. I want to get to the squad ride. Make sure we got enough time for these surge streams starting up right after this. Okay? You ready?
Yep.
Let's lock in. All right, Gootsy, do me a favor. Run that shit. I want to see that damn train. All right, chat. Look, I'd love to sit up here and say, let's sneak in a Wyoming last-second buzzer beater squad ride, but we're not going to do that. It's not fair to the people who missed the show today. You guys do deserve preferential treatment. It could be an unofficial squad ride. Wyoming starting up here in about 3 minutes, okay, with the voice crack. 3 minutes. Wyoming ML, guys, and I want to check where that line is about to close before the game tips off, just out of curiosity. Looks like they are still faves catching a little bit more steam than they were earlier today. Okay. Let's go, Wyoming. Get it done. Get it fucking done. Jovan, what is your favorite play today, my man? Is it still Kansas State?
Yeah. It's going to have to be a little emo action in KC.
Okay. All right. I can get down with Kansas State today. I didn't love them last night. I like them better today. And I'm with you on fading fraudulent Baylor. Let's put Kansas State in that puppy. Plus 5.5. I'm in.
Sure.
I'm in. All right. Kansas State plus 5.5 skis. Dubs. I like the Kraken. Decent amount.
The crack house.
Yep. What do you think?
I could be in on that.
Do you want to try to find something on the ice or on the CBB hardwood first? So we don't have to lay that juice?
Yeah, maybe so.
Okay. A couple other plays that we talked about, games that we looked through that I'm scrolling through right now. Obviously, you got Merrimack. You've got Georgia, which is certainly interesting. American on the spreads. We could put it in there as well. They're probably going to win, but if I fade Navy, I might explode. I'm a little bit concerned about that.
It's an
it might have to be a quality over quantity type vote again today like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
Sunnyside picks, bro. Since he's chalked, let's not get it twisted. They're chalked. Move on. Jovan, I'm doing my best out here, man. I'm trying. They're chalked. Move on. Sunnyside picks. Don't get any hope.
Unbelievable.
Stanley really likes American. Stanley really likes American. I do too, but I think bad things are going to happen if we put them in here. I'll say it.
Yeah, we can't have bad vibes, especially
we cannot fade
with potential
Academy.
boots on ground. Can't have that.
We cannot fade the Naval Academy. Okay. Sam, I'm sorry if I upset you, man. Let me know in chat what I did, because that's not a normal human reaction to say that to another person you don't know. Let me know what I did, Sam. I'd love to make up to you, my man. Let me know. How can I make your day, Sam? Let me know in the chat. Commanders re-sign Mariota. Sure. Love that. JD5's role model. Good for him. Good for him. All right. Jovan, we could go Kansas State, and we could keep it simple and go Kansas State Kraken. We could throw in your Georgia play in here as well and trust you after I had a good day yesterday and lean on your plays today. I certainly would not mind that. And talking that out loud sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah, you got some daytime plays too, so maybe you stay hot.
Put Georgia in here. Can we put Georgia in here?
Some dogs. I'm in.
Yeah? Are they still -3.5?
Yep, they are.
You want to just go 2 CBB, or do you want to throw hockey in there too?
Nah, get you involved in there too, Krabs.
Cracking
People want the crack house. They can get involved with the crack house.
Let's go 3 plays, 3 winners. Let's do a 2-minute poll if possible. W Goots, we appreciate you, Beast. Apologies, Trent, for running over here. 3 plays, 3 winners, chat. Kansas State +5.5, Georgia -3.5, and the Kraken late night on the money line on the ice. Get involved. All right, don't just sit there. Get involved. Okay. Dobes' ass cheeks. Nerfy Chad saying, sure. Chat, 3 plays, 3 winners. We've got Kansas State and Georgia on the hardwood and the Kraken on the ice. Hurry up. Go, 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 go. 2 words. Lock in your votes. Lock them in. Don't just sit there. Get those votes going. Okay? Check out the pod this afternoon for the college basketball power conferences. Okay? If you want to know who's winning these power conferences, check out the pods. All right? We got the link in the chat. WPega. We appreciate you, Beast. 3 plays, 3 winners for the squad ride poll. Get involved. We've got a hockey play with the Kraken, and we got Georgia on the spread along with Kansas State, which Jovan said is his favorite play today. I certainly would not mind leaning on that after we took I guess yesterday was your play as well.
Yeah, yesterday was also my favorite play today. We'll see how this goes.
Sure. Okay. Jovan, I feel good about all 3 of these plays up here on the board. I think we're in business. Okay? Feeling good about these puppies. Chat, please get involved and click the right button. Okay? What's up, Joe? Good to see you in the chat as well. Hope you're having a great Wednesday.
W. Cheward.
All right. W. Cheward. All right. W stream today, guys. We appreciate you. You got about 10 seconds left to lock in your squad ride votes. And do me a favor. Check out the pod that I was just talking about on YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Music. And stick around for the surge stream right after this. Okay?
We confirmed getting that?
No, I hope so, though.
If it does start up, I want so many spams of negative 10K in chat.
No, if it starts up, don't do that and be positive and gas him up because we're happy that he did the stream.
We're happy that he showed up to work after losing coin Krabs.
Yes.
That's unbelievable.
Let's stay positive. If he fires it up, let's be positive. Come on. Let's be positive. Let's be happy if he fires it up. Jovan, you know you're getting those -10Ks in the chat anyways, brother. It doesn't matter what I say or not.
It's fair.
Okay. Chat, W's. We got Kansas State, Jovan's favorite play on the hardwood tonight, +5.5 W's. We'll meet you at the cash counter. And we'll catch you guys tomorrow, same time, same place. We'll be. We appreciate you.